Hello everybody, this is John. Welcome to the Mershman Seeds Ag Weather Outlook for February 3rd, 2018. Well, look at this here. We have this pattern again. Look at the polar vortex, very strong. Look at the shades of blue. That's saying it's intensifying. So far it hasn't moved too far down to the south, but it is beginning to sink south. This is a pattern sort of ominous here for some cold weather. And if I look at temperatures here, look at the pooling of cold air. It is all over here. This is 20 degrees below normal in spots. When I see that, it's just a matter of time. And I'm sure if you're in the far northern tier of the U.S., it's time right now. And for most of the Corn Belt, it's right on its way. Now, before I get to the forecast, here's the current conditions, the past week precipitation. You can see a fairly soaking rain and some snow at higher elevations over parts of the eastern Corn Belt. And boy, that's a trend that goes back a long ways. Then over the upper Midwest, some light snow. You can see the light snow here, but precipitation was fairly light last week over the Corn Belt. If you want to look at where snow's on the ground, well, we've been getting some alternating periods of milder weather, including last week. So it's been melting the snow. You can see, look at South Dakota, very little snow. Iowa, not a whole lot. And really the more significant snow is the darker shades of blue, and it's pretty scattered. So not all that much snow, but that might be changing as well. So here's your departure from normal temperatures over the last week. Yellow is a bit above normal, green's a bit below normal, so not a lot of extremes last week. Soil moisture here, just to remind us, we need some more rain or snow, pretty bad over Missouri, Kansas, Missouri, parts of Illinois, parts of Iowa. That's the yellow. On the other hand, we have some areas, especially Michigan and the eastern Corn Belt, that remain wet, and mixed conditions in the upper Midwest. So the Arctic Oscillation, it looks to me like it's going to be dipping down way to the south as we get towards the middle part of February. That's indicating that a trough of low pressure looks like it should be intensifying. And if we look at this week, we can see that it starts to sink south. Now, it's going to be somewhat gradual here. You can see that area of blue. It's not like it's all the way down south yet, but it is sinking south. And with that, colder air is sinking south. So if you're in the far eastern Corn Belt, you might get some colder air, but not anything near the anomalies over the upper Midwest where we're looking at. This is probably going to be the second coldest air mass so far this season, with temperatures 15 to 25 degrees below normal. Now, as far as precipitation this week, very soaking rain over parts of the southeast U.S., the Tennessee River Valley, parts of the Ohio River Valley, and that could brush the eastern Corn Belt, but that's going to intersect with that cold air. So models have been showing these tracks now, sort of northwest to southeast, or maybe even west to east, repeated tracks, because we're going to have 2 or 3 pushes of cold air, reinforcing pushes. This is on Tuesday, Monday night and Tuesday, and this will probably change. Don't get too wrapped up days in advance, but it is showing an uptick in snow, and possibly the eastern Corn Belt, the Great Lakes, maybe some significant snow compared to what we've seen so far this winter. So let's keep an eye on this week. Now, if we get into the February 8th through 13th time frame, we still have that pattern, and we still have lots of cold air. So we're looking at right through the next 10 days, unusually cold air over the entire region. Now we get into the 11 to 15 day range. You can see the jet stream, that the polar vortex isn't quite as intense. It starts to lift north. I say that because you can see brown shades now, but we still have a general cyclonic flow here, and the cold air is going to linger. So we're looking at, through the middle part of the month of February, below normal temperatures, pretty much without a whole lot of break over pretty much the entire Corn Belt. And in addition to that, look at this. We have some active storm tracks. Here's one. This is the one that's going to bring some of that heavier precipitation. This is the next 5 days. Precipitation departures, and here's the second week. Again, another storm track moving through. So we could get some snow. It's not a storm track that would give us necessarily each one heavy snow, but repeated storm tracks of light to moderate snow could add up. So I think the big story is going to be the unusually cold weather, not just in the short term, but in the medium term. And a feel in the past we've had sort of more of just sort of cold winter weather over many areas. This could be cold and some snowy winter weather as well. I don't think the snow specific amounts are tracked. Models have been sort of flip-flopping, so not the highest confidence, but I will be following up with that some information. It looks like most areas could have a chance of snow, but it looks like the eastern Corn Belt could get the heaviest snow. That's this week's briefing. Hope this helps you. Stay warm, and I know we're all beginning to look forward to spring here. I know I am. Have a great week.